Amazing. Welcome, everyone, to the Simple Things podcast. We are discussing a very important topic. This topic is dear to my heart, not for any other reason than the fact that people have used the alibi, the excuse around this topic to, perpetuate laziness. And that's why I love to discuss this topic. If you are new to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe and be able to put on the notification button so that we are able to reach you at any point we post something, you are able to see it and you're able to actually know when we post the new things. Okay. Okay. So, very quickly, because of our time, we're going to be looking at something so dear to me. That is how to create your luck, how to create your luck in life and business. How can you create luck, your own luck in in your life and in your business? This topic is so important because I've seen people, you know, literally literally perish because they were unable to understand that there is something they can do for themselves. And you see, they can always refer you to Bible and the holy books. Like some people will refer you to Ecclesiastes verse 9, 11 to 12. That Let me read that. I've seen something else under the sun. The race is not to the swift, or the battle to the strong, nor does food come to the wise, or wealth to the brilliant, or favor to the learned, but time and chance happeneth to them all. Moreover, no one knows when their hour will come. As fish are caught in a net, or birds are taken in a snare, so people are trapped by evil times that fall unexpectedly on them. So some may want to refer me to this biblical, time and chance happened to them all. Now that is why we want to interpret this in context so you can understand. But this is not a preaching, so it's not to convince you, but it's just to show you if the people who we are who invented the internet, if they were waiting for time and chance, it may not have happened. If the person who the light we are using, if the person had waited for time and chance, it may not have happened. The phone we are using, the camera I'm using, the laptop, the everything I'm using here, if they had waited for time and chance, it may not have happened. And the truth is, I want to show you how to create time, create chance, and understand what even the scripture means by all those. So we're going to look at some components as we go ahead. I love discussing this because, yeah, I call welcome. I Kefas, welcome, sir. I love discussing this because I understand the power of religion in our climate and everywhere in the world. And if you are sometimes rational around this, it appears as if you are poking your hands in the eye of God. Now, let me tell you, the people that invented the airplane, the aeroplane, the Orville and Wilbur, the Wright brothers, their father was a reverend gentleman. In fact, he told them that if God had wanted you to actually fly, he would have given you wings and given the birds legs, but he gave you legs and gave the birds wings. So just use your legs and stop this flying thing. And but those guys know something that is very important, and I want somebody to write it for me on the chatbot. Now, that is the human mind has no capacity to conceive an impossible idea. Now, most times when I say this, it's always very controversial to people until I explain it. The human mind cannot conceive an impossible idea. The human mind has no capacity to conceive an impossible idea. The same way the man, like myself, the man cannot conceive a baby naturally. The man doesn't have the capacity to conceive a baby naturally, unless probably he goes through some surgeries or something. I don't know. But no man, I cannot conceive a baby. Why? Because I don't have the makeup. So the human brain cannot conceive an idea that's impossible. For instance, for you to think of carrying the building you are in right now, the building you are in right now, to carry it on your head to another location, you don't think about it, yeah, because there's no facility in the human mind that can conceive that kind of idea. It could be possible in the future. By then, probably the infrastructure and all those that can move a house from one place to the other will be there, especially the kind of house we build now. But if it's a container or porta cabin, or you can just carry it around and all those. So the human mind cannot conceive an impossible idea. That is why when they thought they could fly, even though they had a lot of people rather discouraging them, they refused to be discouraged because they knew that the human mind cannot conceive an impossible idea, and they went on and they accomplished it. The same for the person who thought about making call from one place to the other, the Wright brothers. For the same for the person who thought about the internet, who thought about all the things we're using today that we take for granted. You see, because they know the human mind cannot conceive impossible idea. In fact, some of them we are thought of to be very, extreme, and in fact, some we are thought of to be very, very lunatic, and they were treated as such. So if you've got that, let's get down to business. Now, what is luck? A lot of people will ask. I don't always like so much definition because I know that most times when we keep on defining, we become very academic. But luck is success or failure apparently brought by chance rather than through one's own actions. When happenstance makes something possible, we say, oh, this person is lucky, oh, this was luck shining on him, and blah blah blah. So when chance or happenstance makes something possible, we say, oh, this person is lucky. It was just luck that the first kick went in. Now, the question would have been, what if there was no kick? What if there was no kick? Would anything have gone in? That's one question we should ask. Now, the force that causes things, especially good things, to happen to you by chance and not as a result of your own efforts or your own abilities, that's what we call chance. The force that causes good things to happen to you, not because of your own abilities or because of your own effort. That is what we call chance, okay, luck. Okay. Now, another definition of luck will be um, success or good thing that happen to you that do not come from your own abilities, do not come from your own efforts, but it's just you are sitting and it just happened to you. Now, when you say even somebody um, who won um betting game, or those kind of things, if you say the person is lucky, now it becomes a little doubtable, because if the person didn't play, could he have won? Now get it, let me show you before we continue so we don't go into argument. The point is, there's what I call existential postulates, and I'm going to write it down here. Existential postulates. Existential postulates. Now, I have my own existential postulates. I'll give you one or two of them. Number one is that the God who made you cannot even save you without you. That's one of my existential postulates. Now, I'm not saying that I'm the person who made it up. I'm saying that's one of the things I believe in, that even God who made you cannot even save you without you. Now, one of the problems we have is that A lot of people think that effort is only physical, or effort is only when you go out there to do something. Yeah. There was a time I developed a course called Money Wants Me. Money Wants Me. In fact, that course, changed my life forever, that I ended up not, bringing that course out for people to buy. Because that course, I taught it to myself, taught it to my wife, taught it to my kids, and it changed our life completely forever. And you see, I've not had time, because of the wonder of that course in my life, I've not even had time to bring it out to people. It changed everything for me. Now, what was it about? It was a kind of revelation from God that money cannot spend itself. God cannot even come here to do anything without me. So God wants me. Money wants me. That car in the garage wants me. The car cannot drive itself. The aeroplane wants me. Or, everything wants me to be able to perform its duty here on earth. And immediately I got that. I saw myself as the person who is the privileged person, not who is the person doing, who is the favored person who is doing others a privilege. I have the right, and then I can now share the privilege. I found out that money cannot function without me. And so making money was no more like something, I'm pursuing money. I stopped saying something like I'm pursuing money. No, I found out that money is the one pursuing me, and everything changed. I stopped getting anything I get out of unnecessary, you know, unnecessary hard work that is not counting. So everything I put in comes back. Everything I put in comes back. What really changed? What changed was my mentality, how I perceive myself in the equation. I now, God helped me to insert myself at the center of the equation, that money is not doing me a favor. Without me, money cannot do good in the society. If I accept to make that money, I use it as a force of good in the society. Everything changed for me with this knowledge. I stopped being afraid of the future, and money making became easier. Everything I do, I know as of a right that it should and must succeed. There was no demon stopping me. There was no, power of the devil stopping me. That God has made everything to fall in, and in the line has fallen in pleasant places for me. I saw my favoredness, and I could touch, I could feel it. Everything was easier for me. To that extent, it was so easy for me to move further and faster in life. Money wants me. Okay. Now, your understanding of this will help you for us to now look at the components of luck. Now, what I want to do in this training is to show you that, luck is your default. In other words, there is no need to be waiting for luck or looking for luck, or thinking that luck is an occurrence that occurs once in a year or once in a day or one. Luck is your natural default. Luck is what you do, and that's your right every single day. I call it favoredness. Immediately, God made me to understand that I am favored. The only reason there's earth is because of me. Just check out every single thing on earth, whether it's pottery, whether it is technology, whether it's entertainment, whether it is forestry, whether it's horticulture, whether it's building, whether it's architecture, whether it's whatever, civil engineering, big data, artificial intelligence, everything is meant for man and only man. If you take man away from the equation, in other words, if you take me away from the equation, nothing makes meaning again. So how could those things boast for me? How could those things boast to me? How can money boast to me? The point is that without me, there's no money. Money doesn't make sense anymore. Now, if you are not very deep in and listening to this, you won't understand how much this means. But let me tell you, now this person talking to you is physically challenged. I had polio when I was 1 year, 6 months. Okay. Now, 1 year, 6 months with polio. By age 6, I had become perfectly suicidal, meaning that for every single second I lived from age 6, I wanted to kill myself. So it is very instructive that I'm the person today telling you that life is good, life is beautiful, money wants me. I am the only person who makes meaning in, I mean, we as human beings, not just I am the person who makes life to what living. I mean, you as a human being, you are the only person, you are the only thing, you are the only species who makes it possible for there to be for any other thing to make meaning. Your ability to understand that will change everything. So it took me away from suicidal to understanding my position on the earthly plane. Now, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, let's start going into how luck happens and the components of luck. Now, I've done a lot of research on how luck happens and the components, and I came back with 5 components that I want to discuss with you very quickly because our time is almost half. Now, the first component is chance. So I want somebody to help me. First component of luck is chance. 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 First component of luck is chance. Now, what does that mean? You know, if you understand that the more you do the right things, the more right you can become. The more you talk to people, the more it is easier for you to convince people. The more you market, the more the possibility of you selling something is possible. The more you sell, the more you talk to people, the more you push your product, the more likely it is that you can sell. The more you talk to a lot of people, the more friends you can make, the more talks you give, the more professional you can become. The more you practice, the more you have the possibility of becoming perfect in that thing you are practicing. The more you sing, the more your voice could get better. The more you network, the better you become, and the possibility of having the people who can be your destiny helper. Immediately you start understanding that every other thing will start changing for you. So, chance is your ability to create possibilities and probabilities for success. The ability to create possibilities and probabilities for success is what we call chance. Now, I give you an example. If you come into a hall, if you come into a hall where you have 100 people, and then you come to the front and go to the extreme seat by the right in the front and sit there, you have lowered your chances so much. What happened is that where you are just the person beside you and probably the person behind you are the people you can talk to comfortably. So you have used your hands to destroy your chances. But if you go to the middle seat, like if you go to the center row and you go to the second seat or second line and sit, you see, you have the possibility to talk to the person in your front, the person by your left, the person by your right, the person behind you. I'm just giving that as an excuse so you can understand how you can increase your chances or decrease your chances. If you have a program and you invite 50 people, the possibility that, from our own understanding, because that's what we do every time, the possibility that you are going to have 50 divided by 3 will give you around 50 divided by 3 will give you 50 1. Okay, so we'll give you somewhere around 16 or thereabout. Okay. Yeah, around 16. Okay. Yes. Now, then you are most likely going to get about 16, 17, 18, 20 people into that hall if you invite just 50 people, and that's you needed just 50 people. But if you invite about 100 people, you are most likely going to get about 30, 35 to 50. So the point is, the more you do, The more you do, the more you affect your law of average. There's something I call the law of average. Jesus exemplified that when he gave the parable of the sower. He said a man took seed and sowed. When he sowed the seed, that some of them fell on rocky grounds, some fell on on mountainous ground, some fell beside thorns, some fell in good ground, some fell. And you see, when they started growing, they all grew somehow or some didn't. But the major thing is that a lot that grew didn't succeed. Why? Because either they grew on top of mountain, there was no seed on top of rock, and they were scorched by the sun and they died. Some grew among thorns and they were scorched and they died. Can I have water? Some grew among, all those. Now the point is, Jesus recognized that not everything you planted, not everything you tried, not everything you wanted to happen will happen the way you want them. So he recognized that. And that taught me a very big lesson. I call it the law of average. If you want to sell 100, talk to 1,000. Along the line, you will know if you talk to one. There are times we want to do something in our organization, we just want 100 people. We end up, spreading so that 20, 30, 30, 40,000 will see that. So most time we overshoot just because we don't want to take chances. But we found out that in the law of average in our own organization, you are most likely going to have about 30% of people who become interested in what you are selling in our own organization. So you need to understand your own, you need to work on your own and understand your own law of average. So the point we are making is immediately you understand your law of average, you can understand chances better. And then the more chances you create, it's like in football. If you keep trying the goalpost and trying the goalpost and taking it to the enemy's camp over time, you're going to find out that you break that goalkeeper and you score. But if you are not going there, most times you don't really score. Okay, so let's leave out the argument and talk about the second component. But before we go to the second component, how do you apply the law of average and the first component, which is chance, creating more chances? How do you apply it in creating your luck? Now think about it. Let's assume you have something to do with ministries, departments, and agencies in your country. In my own country, there are more than 700, close to 1,000 something. Another, when you divide them even down to like schools and all those kinds. So if you go to one place, let's assume you went to Ministry of Employment, Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of this one and that one and all those, and you didn't have breakthrough. Why will you just sit down there and start crying? They don't like me. They just don't like me. They don't like me. Stupid. Yeah. Go to 200 other, 700 other, 500 other. By the time you go through 100, you find out that a lot of people will like you. In fact, some will like you because you look like their late husband, or you look like their late father, or you look like their first love, or you look like the man that, the woman that trained them in school, or you look like their favorite uncle. Some will hate you because you look like somebody who raped them, or who duped them, or who slapped them, or who did something against them, or you're from a tribe they don't like. You don't have to start crying. You need to understand that this is human condition. Some will love you for who you are, some will love you for who you are not, some will hate you for who you are, some will hate you for who you are not. That is the human condition. Immediately you understand that, every other thing will start changing. Okay, so if you've got that, let's talk about the second component. We've talked about the first component of luck. If you want to create luck in life and business, you need to understand the five components. Number one is chance, and we've talked about it. Number two is what we call hard work. I'm not gonna be this elaborate in some other one because our time is, we've spent 25 minutes already. So hard work. Hard work is the second component when it comes to what? When it comes to creating your luck. In fact, if you read the scriptures, the book of Proverbs 22, verse 9, by 29, it says, seest thou a man who is diligent in his work, he shall stand before kings, and he shall not stand before mean men. He says, if you see that man who is diligent in what he's doing, he or she shall stand before, kings, not before just ordinary men. That's the truth. The truth is, how you do one thing is how you do all things, but people don't understand. Now, in when we teach you personal branding, we say that over 350 people see you a day. That is, if you're an introvert, you are not just that kind of person who makes friends everywhere. Over 350 people see you every day. That is, you know, more than 3,500 in just 10 days, close to 11,000 in a month. And they are forming their understanding of you. They are forming their, you know, perception of you. You are creating a particular brand, negative or positive, in their minds. What that means is that if you understand that being diligent, you are able to create diligence in their heart. Being lazy, you create lazy in their heart. Being, stupid, you create stupid in their heart. Now, this will start forming their perception of you, whether they're going to give you a job or not, whether they're going to work with you or not. 10 years later, 15 years, 2 years, 3 years, 3 months later, you come for something and they say, we can't deal with you. And then you feel like, oh, I'm not lucky. No, you created your luck yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're here, I want you to use the share button and share this program with your friends so that they can join, because this is life changing, in my opinion. And I've thought this many years and has changed people's life totally. It first changed my own life before it started changing other people's life. I am disabled in my lower limbs. I don't have the right and authority to advise anybody, but because I started using these principles and I was able to learn a lot. I've trained hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in these principles, and I've made money teaching these things to ministries, department, agencies, high net worth individual companies, organizations, individuals, businesses, and all those. And you see, they sound simple, but they are not easy. Immediately you understand them, everything happens. So share this with your friends, share with your people. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do, and cause others to subscribe. To give us thumbs up so that we are able to have algorithm recommend us to other viewers. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, if you comfortably understand the power of hard work, diligence, you understand that it is not something you do you just do out of intensity without consistency. Any hard work that makes meaning must have intensity and consistency, but much more consistency. If you are climbing a hill, if you are climbing a hill and life is like climbing a hill with bicycle, immediately you stop throttling, immediately you stop throttling and just stop pedaling, you start going back. If you are climbing a hill, if you stop throttling or stop, pedaling, you start going back. And that's very important. You know that in life, hard work must not be seasonal. It has to be continuous and continuous. So consistency is even more important than what? Than intensity. Don't just big hard work and then you go home. No, keep doing it and doing it, keep showing up and 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 showing up, over time, people will start recognizing you for who you are and what you do, and they start taking you as a professional in that. So, ladies and gentlemen, hard work is the next principle, but it's very important I tell you something about hard work. Now, I always use Abuja because I'm not very geographically intelligent. If you are in Abuja, Mararaba Aziz and Gwagwalada Aziz, they are like two opposite directions. Okay, so now Mararaba and Lugbe, okay, I think they are two opposite directions. Now, if you want to go to Mararaba, but out of ignorance, you face Gwagwalada. The point is, every single effort you put in is taking you further away from Mararaba. So if you are working hard, you're going to be working hard towards Gwagwalada, not Mararaba. And you are going to look at others and say, oh, they are lucky. They're not, they don't even work as hard as myself. But you see, I've not achieved anything. The point is not that you are not lucky. The point is that your hard work is in an opposite direction. And that is what happened to a lot of people. I see a lot of people and they are working so hard. And I tell them, why don't you spend a few minutes, a few hours, come and take training on building systems in your business? Come and take training on building structures in your business. Come and take training on marketing. Come and take training on public speaking. Come and take training on the consulting process. Come and take training on digital marketing and digital awareness. Come and take training on goal realization. Come and take training on confidence power. Come on. They just say, no, don't worry. I can't pay that 400 and something thousand. I can't pay that 500 and something thousand. But you see, as you go ahead, you see them lose 10 million, 20 million, 50 million. And if they had spent 20 hours, in training, they wouldn't have lost the money and they would have made that money a million times. What's the point? The point is that not every hard work is smart. Some hard work are foolish, some hard work are stupid, some hard work are not in the right direction. And at the end of the day, you're going to waste your capacity, you're going to waste your hard work. Okay, so that is number two. Number three components, and I'm going to start winding down because of our time. Number three component is what I call tenacity. Okay, tenacity. Most times, most times, your hard work, most times, your hard work may not, okay, your hard work may not work as hard, okay, until you are able to understand the power of keeping at ease. Keep at ease, what they call the Kai factor. Keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, keep showing up, be tenacious. I'll give you an example. Let's use you know a kind of something that everybody can. Let's assume you're a guy, you want to get married, and you are in a place where you cannot talk or where you're not seeing women, and you see only one person and you are talking to that one person. If that one person rejects you, there's nothing that can happen. That's an example of chance. So, but if you are able to talk to 20 women, not from deception, like, okay, you become friends with about 20 women, you're going to be able to now know who likes you, whose character that is in line with your own, because you're not an angel from heaven. So who can manage you as you manage them. Okay, so that's chance. Now we talk about hard work. So you zeroed out to you know three people that you like, yeah, and then you start talking to them about marriage, and then they are not looking your way. Okay, now if you just allow them go like that, you probably may not have put in enough hard work, buy flour, buy ice cream, or ask for a date, do this one and that one, and those are for what? Hard work. Now, but you see, you can work hard and you're working hard in a stupid way. So you have to find out probably what they call the love language of the person. Does she want attention? Does she want care? Does she want you to buy something? And all those could be what could make you work smarter. Yeah, because if you can press the right button, the person is most likely going to respond. There's a button I will press, and every light in this room will go off. Yeah, if I press the button here, yes, every light has gone off. Okay, so that becomes that. So your ability to know the right button, that's hard work, that's smart work. Then, the person can still frustrate you no matter how smart you are. That's now tenacity comes in. If that's what you want, if that's who you want, that's the same thing for business. That's the same thing for profession. That's the same thing for getting more degrees. That's the same thing for marketing a particular, organization. There's an organization we talked with for more than 2016 to 2022. Yeah, something like that. 2016 to 2022. Yeah, and that organization, you know, never listened to us. Yeah, we talked with them. But you see, in 2022, in one swoop, we got a job that covered those years. Okay, job, I don't want to mention the amount. There's an organization we started that 2016 to, and you know, it is in 2023 that we were able to start working for them. But we were tenacious. We never lost hope because we understand that you need to understand chance. So chance is like um every day you talk to three organizations. Every day you talk to three. In 5 days, you've talked to 15 organizations. So it's like you are importing something from China or from anywhere in the world. If you put you put 100 bags this month, next month you put 100 bags, the upper month you put 100 bags, the upper month you put 100 bags coming to you, importing. The other month. So by in 12 months, you have put 12 bags, you have put 1,200 bags if you are putting 100. That means every single month, 100 bags will be a button in your country. So if you keep putting 100 every month, that means for every single month, you will still have, you know, bags, you still have the thing coming into your country. What that means is that your ability to keep opening doors is chance every day, and having that tenacity to keep checking back and talking to them and all those, you will find out that every single month you are closing deals. It could be a deal you started 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years ago. You start closing them and closing them and closing them and all those. That is tenacity, ability to hold on, the keep at it factor. Don't get tired. Yeah, you've heard the person who had the light, the candescent, the bulb, the light in the electric bulb, how many experiments he did. Some said 5,000, some said 10,000. Just every single thing is like that. Yes, to close a deal is not always once. Yes, keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. Don't say, oh, this person was lucky. She just talked to one person and she closed the deal. That is not how it is always. Okay, I don't want to talk about my personal life, but you see, the first person I talked to that I want to marry, the first person I said I love you, the first person was the person I married. Yeah. Now, if somebody will say I'm lucky, that's not true. I had, I have, I had, you know, I don't want to use the wrong word because I'm recording so that you don't pull it up tomorrow. But I would say I have talked to, like, I had tried to test, talk to, be friends with maybe more than 300 people. Some people I was friendly with, I found out that they are not very intelligent. Some people I was friendly, I found out they had hot temper. Probably their own clashes with mine, it will not be good. Some people I was friendly with, I found out they didn't like education. Some people I was friendly with, I found out they didn't like schooling. Some people I was friendly with, I found out they didn't like the service business. They just like buying and selling. Some people I was friendly with, I found that they were selfish. Some people I was friendly with, I found out that they are not um, loving people. They're just unemotional. They are just overly rational. And I found out that in a family setting, the person cannot understand when empathy should come in and all those. So I sampled those more than 200 or 300 or 1,000 people, and I was able to now zero in on the person that I got married to. And, because some people, I found out that I love them more than they love me. I'm being physically challenged. I don't want that. I wanted somebody who loved me and I love the person too. So that way it was easier for me. But the person who says, okay, the first person who said, I love you too, the first person who said, will you marry me, is the first person that married you. And some people would not understand all the other work that went in, all the 200 or 300 or 1,000 people that went in over a period of about 4 years or 5 years that I was working on this. Okay, so those are the tenacity, those are the things you do at the background that people will not see, and then they manifest. So let's talk about the fourth element. The fourth element, we'll talk about the first one was chance, the second one was hard work, the third one is tenacity, and the fourth one is research. If you want to be lucky, you must be research minded. In other words, you have to find out things before you even do them. So if you are going to throw your net in a particular place, have you taken time to research? You come to that sea, come to that river from time to time, check out, throw stone in or do this one and find out where do this thing happen. If it's an idea, you move from idea generation to idea research to idea launch, then move over to idea growth and move over to idea immortalization. So that idea research is where you actually find out how much will I make from this business? How many people are in this business? What is my unique value proposition? Who am I selling to? Who are my target? What creative business model am I bringing to the table? How can I productize this? How can I find a service in this? How can I build a platform? This is where you find out who is already serving who. You will find out the amount of people in that market, and you find out how best to reach them. You find out what they love. You find out the demographics. You find out the psychographics. You find out the behavioristics. You find out this is where you do the research. And when you are doing it, nobody is seeing it. But immediately you become successful in it, they say, oh, you were lucky. You just tried it only once. No, that's not true. If you look at the journey of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, you find out that he came, he didn't make mistakes, and then he died and left according to the scriptures. The point is, when you look at it, when at the age of 12 he was in the temple, the Bible recorded that he put to naught the wisdom of the rabbis in the temple. And he went home at 12. We never saw him again until 18 years after, when he was able to come out and start his ministry. Now, he did the ministry according to the scriptures and history for about 3.5 years. So for every 14 months, he prepared for about 10 years. For every 14 months, he prepared for about 10 years. What that means is that he did his researches very well. He was able to do carpentry work, probably do other things, find out how humans behave and all those kind of things, find out the geography of the whole place, understand his community and all those kind of things. But a lot of people just come out, no research, they jump into things and they fail and they said, I am not lucky. That is not true. Luck requires research. Luck requires you to know, the psychographics, the behavioristics, the demographics of the humans. It requires you to understand the geographics. It requires you to understand, persuasion, motivation. It requires you to understand quite a lot of things, to have skills, to understand public speaking, understand marketing, understand sales, understand copywriting, understand, persuasion, understand persuasion, understand, emotional intelligence. It requires you to understand a lot. Life is like cooking soup. The same with luck. Luck is like cooking soup. If you don't have enough ingredients, your soup will not be as sweet as you want. So the more you are able to understand things and research things and able to apply them, the luckier you become. If you're watching television and they said there's a job, they want somebody who has understanding of the humanities and has understanding of IT and has understanding of business and has understanding of accounting or finance and all those. If you a graduate of maybe philosophy or even religion or public administration or whatever, and then you've had a stint with ICANN, maybe it's just some part of it. You've taken courses on finance for non-finance managers, this one, that one, balance sheet, and this one, that one. You've taken courses on them, and then you have also taken courses on digital marketing and all those. Then you see you fit into all this. You can go there and you are able to hold your own and get the job. Because if an accountant is coming, he may not have understanding of digital marketing. If a digital marketer is coming, he may not have understanding of the humanities. If somebody from humanities is coming, they may not have understanding of information technology, but you have understanding of all this, and you can talk from all of that. That start making you a great person because you have researched, you have done your homework and all those. Okay, that is for research. Time will for me to take you deeper and deeper. Our time is very, very fast spent. Let me talk about the last one, the last component that tie all of them together. That's what we call confidence. Okay, confidence is the last component that I want to show you that tie all of them together. So the fifth component, when it comes to your luck, is what we call confidence. Confidence. How confident are you? Okay, how confident are you? Now, confidence is a focus in my organization because we found out that, you know, the greatest, anointing God can give you when it comes to surviving in life is boldness, is confidence, is courage. Now, these things are a little different, but you see, let's stay with confidence. Confidence is the belief in your abilities and belief in your God, the belief in what He can do and what God can do through you. And that is where some people you may think they are not well talented or knowledgeable, that is where they trump up every other person. They have the confidence to do things. Yeah. And there's this quote that always cracked me up. Let me find it. And that quote says, um, it says something like the um, intelligent people, the intelligent people are full of doubt. I want to get the actual this thing. So that is by Charles Bukowski. Charles Bukowski says the problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts and the stupid ones are full of confidence. The problem with the world is that intelligent people are full of doubts while the foolish people are full of confidence. Okay, I'll put it down there. Charles says the problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubt and the stupid ones are full of confidence. Now look at it. Somebody is in this world of what do you call it, word of political correctness. I don't just want to mention things that could make the platform ban me. But you see, a lot of people are doing the wrong things, and they are proud, and they are just out there pushing it and all those. But you have the best thing to give, and you are afraid. What will people say? That's why I encourage people, be very unblackmailable. Be unblackmailable. Be, if they bring anything, use your hand and publish it online for them. Be unblackmailable. There is nothing you've ever eaten and you defecate stone. There's nothing you've ever eaten and you swallow your finger. There's nothing you will see and then you will shed blood. It is not done. So there's nothing they say you did, or whatever, that is just, just, dust yourself up and continue with your life. Nobody is telling you to go and do wrong thing. But the point is that if you make a mistake, you correct it and go on. Don't allow people to remove your confidence from you because they want you to conform, or want you, oh, you are not doing it like this, or you've done this before, or you've made a mistake. And if you make a mistake, you correct it. If you can't correct it, you admit it, and then you go ahead. If you need to go to jail for that mistake, but don't allow anybody to do what? To blackmail you. Be confident about who you are, what you can offer the world. No other person has the same fingerprint like you. No other person has the same earlobe, voice code. No other person has the same eye print like you. You are special. You are unique. And you should be confident about who you are. I want to encourage you. Go ahead and start creating your luck. Okay? So, if you want us to treat any topic, you can reach us 090-555-99925. You can send us um, uh, um, you know, a test and say, please treat this topic. Or you can ask us a question and we will treat that question in one of our one of our podcasts. Remember, you if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and be able to put on the notification button. Now, the person managing this page is Lady PJ, that's Praise Jagede. It's very important that you know she's a wonderful woman who can help you with your vision about going online and staying consistent. Yes, she manages me on this, and I can recommend her to you. If you want her to manage you to, send manage me to 090-555-99925, and she will reach out to you, and then you guys can discuss. I can vouch for her, and I can guarantee her she's done a great job for me and with me. I want to appreciate you for um coming in, share with your friends, and make sure they understand that they can create their logs. I want you to know that it is only doers, DOERS, only doers that go to the bank. Go out there and do so that you can get a lot. Till I see you Sunday 9 p.m., Wednesdays 9 p.m. Remember blessed and stay celebrated always.